Hi guys, Brad Sims here. I just want to thank everybody for all the great questions for this segment of Ask Brad, and let's jump into it.
Question from John Santoro. What's the current status on the stadium's public approval process? When can we expect to see shovels in the ground?
Exciting stuff. It's going to be, again, about a 12 to 18 month process, we believe, for to be able to complete ULURP. We cannot get shovels in the ground until ULURP is completed. At the point we do get shovels in the ground, probably about a 30-month build, which would put us on time for opening the 2027 season in New York City's first ever soccer-specific stadium. So feels great to say that.
A question we received a lot about is the future of the seating stadium process and how current founding members and city members will choose their seats in our future home. Can you speak about how that will work?
Absolutely. Yeah. We've said since day one, founding members are always going to be the first priority once we have our new stadium. That has not changed, will not change. And so founding members who have had continuous membership from us since year one all the way through, they will be the first ones that will have opportunities when we go on sale with the new stadium. From there, after founding members, it's going to be based on cumulative years of membership. So we have founding members who were with the club for the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then maybe haven't been with us for the last couple of years. We welcome. I invite you back. Come on back now. You can add to your years of tenure and be able to potentially jump up in line to have a better spot in line for that seat selection process that will happen. So we want this to be a fair process. And we want to reward the fans that have been with us for the long haul for the most number of years. And we're excited. We're excited for that day when we can all welcome you down to be able to select your new seats at our stadium.
Now that the stadium has been announced, are we going to see more and more games in Citi Field?
Yeah, great question. I think Citi Field, as I think everyone I talk to about every fan, every player, every coach, our partners. When I talk to them about their experiences at Citi Field over the last couple of years, nothing but positive feedback. I'll tell you, the playoff game last year against Miami was one of the highlights of the year for me, and even for my now going on my 5th year here at NYCFC. Definitely one of the highlights. Just the way the crowd brought the energy for that playoff game at Citi Field was amazing, and in rainy conditions, and they just got after it, and it's just a great atmosphere there. So of course we'd like to play games at Citi Field. Having said that, Yankee Stadium remains our primary venue. I think everyone knows we have an unbelievable home field advantage at Yankee Stadium. Our home field record over the years at Yankee Stadium is unbelievable, and the way the fans bring it every game at Yankee Stadium. So the goal will be probably you'll see a little more games at Citi Field year over year, but that's as much driven by just how scheduling is gone with the way Major League Baseball and Major League Soccer schedules have evolved over the last few years. It's just made it much more challenging for us to fit games into the specific calendar that MLS has provided for us. And so just naturally, we really need 2 venues to get all of our games played.
Question from Simon Connolly. The core of our championship-winning team has been dismantled. How can the club progress to greater heights after the 2021 triumph?
We want to be fair to players, and supporting Alex's move to Girona here recently. Some players are leave for different, for a lot of different reasons, and ultimately, we want to support that. We feel great about the players that we have. After that, the other thing I want to say is that the expectations for our team don't change this year, don't change ever. We have the same expectations. We're going to start, it's really kind of starting a new cycle of new players coming in, and that you'll be able to watch them grow and excel over the next few years. And hopefully the plan is to add to the trophy case.
Of the departures, one of the hardest ones for fans is, of course, former captain and goalkeeper Sean Johnson to another MLS club. Can you specifically address his departure?
Everyone in the club, loves Sean, cares deeply about him. He's been an incredible player for us, our captain. MVP of the MLS Cup final. It's just been, an incredible leader on and off the pitch. It's always sad to see, legends of the club, depart, and I think I know the fans feel that with Sean and with a number of other players, and we feel it too. But having said that, we, as it pertains to the goalkeeper position, and again, we wish Sean the best, and we have a great relationship, and we know that he's someone that will stay close to the NYCFC family even after his playing days are over. But for us in the goalkeeper room, I think it's an opportunity, and we've had Luis on the squad for the last couple of years, and who's shown a lot of promise. He's played really well in the opportunities that he's had over the last couple of seasons. A guy who is really great with the ball at his feet, which is really important in our system. And sometimes these are opportunities for other guys to get a chance to show what they can do. So we have Luis, we've added Matt Freese at kind of the end of the offseason, as Sean was up in the air and hadn't accepted our contract offer. We had to look for alternatives, which was Matt Freese. Big props to Dave Lee for making that happen, because that was a guy that the coaches really wanted, and we felt like is a great player to be able to compete with Luis, and we'll see what happens. We're confident that we'll see both of those two guys elevate their play, and then Cody, rounding out the kind of the goalkeeper room is just a consummate professional, fantastic guy to be in that group and help push the other two guys and on all three of them to be their best. So we feel good about the direction of the goalkeeping, the goalkeeping position, and of course, we wish Sean the best and hope to see him again, down the road.
Question from John Santoro. How do we plan on remaining competitive in an ever-improving league?
Yeah, so good question, and it's something that we're focused on. Not just from the NYCFC standpoint, but from a Citi Football Group standpoint in terms of our global scouting network and making sure that we're unearthing the best possible prospects all over the globe. We have to be really diligent. We have to be patient. And I know that's been one of our, I think, keys to success over the last few years is, and giving all the credit to competitive every year to continue to put ourselves in position where we're a playoff team every year, and ideally we're competing for trophies year in and year out. The academy is a key component for development for us, and we've had throughout preseason this year we've had a number of academy players here that actually have performed very, very well, and there's a lot of kind of internal excitement around a number of our academy players or academy alums that are coming up, and that's an area where we've been investing more and more time, effort, energy, resources into, because it's a huge opportunity. Obviously, we've had some great homegrowns over the last just short period of time that we've had in the academy. The likes of obviously James Sands and Joe Scally and Tavon Gray and Andres Jason and the list goes on, and we've got a whole another crop of young players, the up and coming that we're really excited about, and that's a key component to squad building is having homegrowns in the squad, and that's a huge focus of ours now and going forward in the next few years.
How does this new reimagined Leagues Cup help New York City and MLS grow within the continent?
Yeah, I think it's that's a key piece is, and you'll be hearing about from a club standpoint and a league standpoint. How do we grow fans? How do we grow fans in New York City for our club and our league? And how do we grow soccer fans around the U.S. and Liga MX has a huge following, and us playing more international football and more of these kind of competitions and matches against international teams, and specifically teams from Liga MX from Mexico, is going to raise the profile of our league, of our club, and we've seen it the last couple of years. We played Obviously, the Campeones Cup win against Atlas. We played the year before against Pumas at home. We've played Champions League games, and we've seen when we have those kind of matches, it brings out new fans that maybe haven't been to Yankee Stadium before. In the case of Leagues Cup this year, when we play Atlas at Citi Field, maybe haven't been to Citi Field before or haven't been really exposed to MLS or to NYCFC. And so it gives us a massive opportunity to grow new fans. For those fans, if they're fans of Atlas, but they live in the greater New York area, they can still be fans of Atlas, but like NYCFC should be their MLS team, and we have the ability to do that with fans of other teams and other leagues, that live around the greater New York area, that are fans of football, that are fans of soccer, that maybe haven't really followed NYCFC or the MLS too closely. They'll get that opportunity during this tournament, and I think that it's going to be a big win for everyone. A big win for our club, big win for the league altogether, and it's only going to grow over the next few years.
Question from David Vasquez. What is something new the club is doing to attract more fans? We have a huge soccer community in New York City. We need to tap into it.
There's no doubt. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This is top focus, for the club is how to grow fans generally. Like that, we focus on what are our top kind of pillars throughout the club, and for us, fan growth is one of the key pillars, and we couldn't agree more. We think that there's a ton of football, soccer fans, throughout New York City and throughout the greater New York City area, and leading into the 26 World Cup, and then leading into, for us, the stadium in 27. We have this window right now, and that's a huge focus of the club, and a number of things that we're doing. Big focus is getting out in the community, getting out face to face, doing more events, doing more events with our fans, doing more. We're adding a big street team, kind of reintroducing that we haven't had over the last few years due to the pandemic, to really get us out at more festivals and events throughout the city, have more of a presence, and also just to get the opportunity to see more fans and more future fans and potential fans face to face through a number of different events that we have planned throughout the years.
How do you think MLS's groundbreaking partnership with Apple TV and the new MLS Season Pass service will help this endeavor?
Yeah, I think it's going to be massive. This is one of the biggest things if not the biggest thing that's ever happened to the league. Might sound a little bit of hyperbole, but I'm hugely bullish on this partnership with Apple. I tell people all the time, say if you are a company in any industry, like any industry, not just the sports industry, any industry, and you make a list of 5 companies that you would love to be a partner with. Like Apple is on everyone's list in every industry, and like it might be on the list if it's only 3 companies on the list, and it's probably the number one company that you would want to partner with in any endeavor if you had the opportunity. And so the fact that Apple chose MLS and said this is an organization we want to go all in with, speaks volumes about where the league is and where it's going, and what the potential that Apple sees in the league, and then the potential that MLS sees, and how Apple can elevate this league over the next 10 years and hopefully beyond. So it's amazing. The service just launched. All of our Citi members get free subscriptions to it. So if you're not a Citi member, or you're thinking about becoming a Citi member, or you used to be one and you're thinking about coming back, that's one of the best perks, is that you get a membership, you get a subscription included in your membership that allows you to watch every game streamed anywhere you are in the world, on any device, essentially, no blackouts, and this is really going to, I think, elevate the league. It's going to be that Apple does everything first rate. They do things that are that are amazing, just amazing technology, amazing graphics. I think that you're going to see innovation in broadcasts and in content that you haven't seen before. And essentially, teams are becoming media companies, and we're becoming our own kind of like content companies, and the amount of content that we're going to be able to get out there to fans that I think that are going to interest new fans, and also really engage our current fans like never before. It's going to be off the charts. So obviously, I'm excited about it. I'm bullish on this. I think it's huge for the league, and it's going to really help us grow fans going forward.
Question from David Vasquez. Are there any plans on bringing Citi member points back?
Yeah, great question. I've heard this from a number of our fans, and I think a process that predated me, and it's something that we've been looking at bringing back in some form or fashion here in the near future. It won't be brought back exactly as it was in the past, at least in 2023. But it doesn't mean that we aren't doing amazing things and offering great experiences for our Citi members. The plan this year is we've communicated already that we're investing more budget into in-person events and experiences with our Citi members. We had an amazing event just before the holidays at the Bronx Zoo that I saw many of you at. We're doing another big event here just right before the season starts. More watch parties, more fan fests before our games, and so we just have a lot planned and more experiences for Citi members on game days as well. So it won't be a specific in 2023 collecting points and trading them in for experiences, but we want to make sure that we're still offering those kind of opportunities for our Citi members.
Question from Cameron Tancreed. Where do we stand with New York City becoming the soccer capital of the world?
Yeah, well, I would say we're not there yet, but I fully believe we will get there in the future. This has been our mission statement, to build New York City into one of the soccer capitals of the world. And I think a key word in that mission statement is build. And it's something that doesn't happen overnight, and it's something that happens incrementally over time. And we've been building something, and we continue to build, and we will continue to build. And ultimately, there's no doubt in my mind that New York City will be a soccer capital of the world. But we're seeing it. The arrow is pointing straight up. And then we have the bounce, I think, from the 2022 World Cup. We know there's going to be a massive bounce in the 2026 World Cup played here on home soil in North America. And then we have our stadium opening in 2027 on the heels of all that. And it's going to be a destination place for national teams around the world and big clubs around the world to come play in America, in New York City, in our building. And it's this cathedral of soccer in New York that really is kind of the flag planting that helps continue to build the momentum and build what we ultimately want to achieve, which is to undeniably make New York City one of the soccer capitals of the world. And we're seeing it in our business in terms of just the interest in the club, the number of fans that follow us and are engaged in our social media channels, the number of kids that participate in our youth programs. We have another record year in 2022 in participation in camps and clinics and all of our different youth program offerings. We're growing our Citi member base. 2022 was the first year really since inaugural season where we saw an increase in Citi membership year over year, and we expect another increase in 2023 over the 2022 season. We're growing our partner base. We're up to we had 45 corporate partners in 2022. That's up from 31 just like 3 years ago. We were in the 20s, 4 or 5 years ago. So that shows more of an interest in the corporate community in supporting soccer, because they know that soccer is on this kind of huge upward trajectory. And so there's just so many signs that are pointing. The arrow is pointing straight up.
Can you talk us through some of the major community plans and initiatives for next season?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, community is what we're all about. NYCFC was created for the city, and really to give back to the communities throughout the 5 boroughs and beyond, and we continue to do that. A lot of great work coming up in 2023. We have kind of 4 tentpole events throughout the year, throughout this upcoming season, to generate funds to really put back into the programming in the community. And that's our homecoming event coming up on February 28th. We have our a Community Cup, so the second year of the Community Cup, which is a tournament that's played from neighborhood teams throughout the 5 boroughs on the mini pitches that we've built over the course of the last 6-7 years, that it ultimately culminate in kind of like a final 8, and then down to a championship. We're going to be bringing the Consulate Cup back for a second year that we started last year, kind of in conjunction with it being a World Cup year. Had a lot of great success in engaging a number of different consulates from around New York, but throughout the world, to again kind of raise and elevate our position with the global game and those grassroots communities throughout New York, and then also finish the year with our Golf Cup. There's been a big fundraiser for CITC as well. So generating a lot of funds in order to ultimately put that back into programming, and that's the goal: is programming for kids. We've expanded our Saturday Night Lights program in gyms throughout the 5 boroughs. And then we're also going to be embarking on our 26 new mini pitches en route to the 2026 World Cup. So 26 for 26. All right, guys, I guess that's a wrap. Just want to thank you again for the great questions. And as always, thank you for your passion and support of this club. It's the one thing that sets us apart from other clubs in MLS and other clubs in the New York area is the passion that you guys have for NYCFC. It's it's really appreciated by me, by the club, and you guys are so important to the club. We're going to have a great year in 2023. I can't wait to see you guys out opening day, if not before, and we'll talk to you soon.